open your eyes to the hidden cost of progress. While we celebrate technological breakthroughs and increasing comfort, are we unknowingly sacrificing our intellectual vitality and critical thinking skills? Join us as we challenge the myth of linear evolution and ask a crucial question. Is humanity evolving, or are we simply becoming incredibly good at standing still? In this encounter, we will dive beneath the surface of modern conveniences to discover if our relentless pursuit of more isn't leading us toward a new, silent form of social and spiritual inertia. We will investigate how excessive comfort may be dulling our capacity for genuine evolution. We live in an age of bright lights and infinite screens, where spirituality is often stifled by the noise of productivity. Perhaps you feel, deep in your soul, that despite having everything just a click away, something essential seems to be slipping through your fingers. Through self-knowledge, we must question whether the path we tread as a civilization is truly an ascent, or if we are merely walking in circles on a luxurious plateau. As Jiddu Krishnamurti would say, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Today, we seek the presence necessary to discern real movement from mere agitation. The idea that humanity moves in a straight, upward line is perhaps one of the greatest illusions of our time. We were taught to believe that tomorrow will inevitably be better than today, but this perception ignores the deep cycles of nature and history itself. When we analyze the golden ages of the past, we realize that great leaps in wisdom were often followed by long periods of decline and forgetting. Technological progress does not guarantee the progress of the soul. What we call evolution may just be a localized phenomenon, a bubble of convenience that blinds us to the universal laws of impermanence taught by the Buddha. True inner transformation requires us to abandon the metric of having more, to embrace the depth of being. If we believe that evolution is automatic, we stop striving for reconnection with the sacred, becoming passive passengers on a trajectory without a destination. It takes courage to admit that we may be regressing in our human essence while advancing in our tools. But this illusion of an infinite climb only holds up because we have built a structure around us that prevents us from feeling the bumps of reality. We live in a time where access to information is instant, but wisdom seems increasingly scarce. Comfort has become a sedation, a fog that surrounds our capacity for deep inquiry. When we no longer need to struggle, when artificial intelligence begins to outsource even our creative effort, we run the risk of atrophying the muscle of critical thinking. The vessel is only useful because it has empty space. This metaphor reminds us that it is in the discomfort of the unknown that true innovation flourishes. Today, we suffer from analysis paralysis. We have so many options that we end up choosing inaction. Excessive ease generates a decision fatigue that prevents us from taking significant steps on the inner path. The awakening of consciousness rarely happens in the lap of luxury. It demands friction, the fire of curiosity, and the intellectual perseverance that modern comfort tries to extinguish. We need to reclaim the value of effort, understanding that emotional healing and clarity arise from facing our shadows directly, rather than automating them. This sedation through comfort doesn't just isolate our bodies. It confines our minds in spaces where the new cannot enter. Technological progress has given us algorithms that promise to connect us, but in reality, they create filter bubbles where only our own ego is reflected. We are trapped in echo chambers that reinforce our beliefs and suffocate any spark of original or divergent thought. The pursuit of an artificial consensus and the fear of cancellation generate a social conformity that is the opposite of spiritual freedom. When we stop listening to what is different, we stop growing. Listening to the soul requires silence and an openness to the contradictory. Carl Jung warned us about the danger of the masses and the importance of individuation. However, current technology pushes us into a mental hive where real identity is sacrificed for perceived harmony. Without a diversity of perspectives, intellectual debate dies, and with it, our ability to evolve as a collective. Spiritual awakening is an act of rebellion against the bubbles that limit us, allowing us to see unity in diversity, without the constraints of algorithms that decide what we should feel or think. When the voices around us are just the echo of ourselves, we stop walking toward the horizon and start marching over ground that no longer has anything to offer us. We have reached a point where the quest for infinite growth in a finite world is showing signs of exhaustion. The accumulation of material goods and the relentless optimization of old paradigms no longer bring human flourishing. We are merely polishing the bars of a dead-end strategy, unable to change direction in the face of challenges that demand a new consciousness. Like the river that teaches effortless fluidity, we need to understand that real progress is not about accumulating, but flowing with what is essential. More has become a noise that distances us from the meaning of life. We are optimizing our own stagnation, becoming incredibly efficient at tasks that do not nourish our souls. This is the moment of the fertile void, the stage where we need to stop running in order to see. If we don't question the purpose of this growth, we will remain trapped on a plateau of empty materialism, where technology advances but the human heart remains starved of meaning. However, recognizing this limit is not the end, but the womb of a new possibility. It is in the silence of the plateau that the soul finally finds the space to ask, where do we really want to go? Redefining progress is the great calling of this era. True advancement lies not in processor speed, but in intellectual agility and the soul's capacity for adaptation. Reclaiming our evolution means intentionally cultivating the discomfort of doubt and the joy of curiosity. We need to move from passive consumption of information to the active creation of knowledge and independent thought. Practical spirituality teaches us to be the lamp lit in the dark, not just waiting for the world to improve, but transforming our own vibration. Practicing inner silence and contemplation are revolutionary acts in a world that demands our constant attention. Genuine evolution is a return to simplicity, critical discernment, and the courage to be authentic amidst conformity. It is understanding that the universe hears you when you learn to hear yourself. Only through this inner reform can we transform imminent stagnation into a portal for a new form of existence, one that is more conscious, ethical, and deeply human. This change of direction begins with a sigh of acceptance, where the noise of external progress gives way to the truth of what vibrates within. All healing begins with the acceptance of what hurts. Recognizing that we are stagnant is the first step toward walking again. Do not let comfort extinguish your divine flame. What if the sense of emptiness you feel today is not a sign of failure, but your soul's invitation to seek a progress that the world cannot offer? This week, choose one activity you usually do automatically, perhaps reading the news or browsing social media, and replace it with 10 minutes of absolute silence. Just observe the flow of your thoughts without trying to change them. Feel the weight of the cage of comfort, and in the silence, visualize the bars transforming into light. If these words touched something inside you, perhaps it is time to take another step on this path of reconnecting with your inner truth. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue receiving content that nourishes the soul with presence and authenticity. Share in the comments what resonated with your heart. Your story might be the mirror someone else needed to find. If you are looking for a safe harbor, know that our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. Enjoy the posts on our channel. And to continue expanding this field of presence, we suggest the video pinned in the card. May it be a source of inspiration on your journey. Peace and light.